Hello, Aeternum, and welcome to KOTT News, Aeternum's #1 source for news. And this is Simulated Fantasy Combat Resolution, the only kind of combat resolution there should be. Brought to you by our good friends at LARPCO. It's thanks to LARPCO's patent-pending foam core technology that we have endurance, durability, safety, and fun on the battlefield. Remember, if it isn't LARPCO, it is cardboard. Ladies and gentlemen, between the forces of the offensive-minded marauders of stray cats, not as yet attacking Alpha. Excuse me, Charlie. No, wait. Alpha Gate over there. Charlie objective. No, Alpha objective in front of Charlie Gate because math. The marauders of stray cats attacking the syndicate members of Tropical. Here on the Bravo objective as they go all in, it looks like a little bit of red forming around the center objective, now dwindling down as the syndicate members of Tropical push them back onto the road. A quick peek over at, see, that's Alpha. Charlie. Charlie, wait a minute. That's Alpha Gate, that's Charlie objective. That's why I keep getting it backwards, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing going there as the marauders of stray cats get pushed back into their assault camp. Now seems as good a time as any to remind you that all members participating in War Correspondence, as a skirmish breaks off just left of the Bravo objective, all members of War Correspondence must adhere to the first rule, or should at the very least. Don't die, stay alive. That's right. If you feel yourself getting down, phone a friend. Here we go, as it looks like a little bit of regrouping. Somebody must have died on the forces of Tropical as a horn blasts from above on the ramparts. Taking a quick peek. I thought for sure he'd wave. Who could that be? Let me look even closer. How does the telescope not actually telescope in? It sure would be nice if I had some form of combat camera to bring you more of the action. And speaking of action, remembering the first rule of War Correspondence, we will indeed go see if we can get some coverage. We're going to be very cautious here as we consider the War Correspondence challenge of encircling the enemy camp. Maybe. Might as well. Now seems as good a time as any. Get in a little close here. That's a healer right there. Promised to heal me if I was in trouble. So we'll see what happens. All right, Gonna make that move. Here we go. We're gonna go around the camp here as we encircle the assault camp. We're not getting behind you, my friend. We're just going around you. Doesn't look like the marauders of stray cats are gonna be able to get out on that exit of the assault camp. But perhaps they'll pop out over here and surprise me halfway through the War Correspondence Challenge. Hold on. Let me stop and get a little thumbnail here. Yep. Hold on to that for a couple seconds. Oh, jeez, brother. You scared the living bejesus out of me. Thank you for acknowledging the treaty. Who do we got over there? Oh, Kobe, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. He understands. He's not gonna commit a war crime. Cheeks Magunda inside the camp. We pan out here. He's trying to get his bearings as well, I'm sure. Many of us foregoing the 7 o'clock invasion as the corrupted forces of Isabella charge into Greyvale in Morningdale. Invasion response squad captains should be suitably volunteered. Staffed is the word I was looking for there, as volunteers tend to come out of the woodworks early. However, we will see if tonight's invasion in the 10 o'clock time slot is as fruitful, with 3 simultaneous invasions as determined by the invasion war timers. If but, they could be 2 separate timers. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we might be settling into a 30-minute skirmish here on the Southern Cutlass Keys as the forces of stray cats attempt to re-secure their ceremonial mosh pits just a little bit. This is not to be confused with a shooting shot. Their ceremonial mosh pits just a little bit over that ridge that way. And, of course, the defense of the syndicate members of Tropical utilizing the telescopic technology of Spyglass Ridge to peer into the PvP zone and identify the location of the coconuts. They go crazy for the coconuts here in the Southern Cutlass Keys. Still nothing. A little one-on-one, maybe two over on the Alpha objective in front of Charlie Gate. Nobody in front of Bravo. Is there anybody over on Charlie objective in front of Alpha Gate? Let's go see. Let's get over there in a hurry. There isn't. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can take pause now and perhaps come back later if there's anything new to report. Otherwise, I don't see the benefit. Again, the forces of the Marauders, stray cats, attempting to dislodge the syndicate members of Tropical for control of the Southern Cutlass Keys. Until such time as they make headway, however, we're going to take it back to the studio. And this has been War Correspondent John Chalant, KOTT News.